All right. Hi, everyone. How are we doing today? My name is Dari Medunye, Head of IT and Innovation for the Tony Elumelu Foundation and for the Hess Holdings Group. I trust that we're all keeping safe at this period. I know it may be a trying time for most of our businesses, but as they say, trying times are for trying. Straight out the bat, I want to express how such an honor it is for me to be doing this today. I believe that African entrepreneurs are superheroes. You guys are the dream of the Africa that we have for tomorrow. And we are super proud of you, especially to Tony Elumelu Foundation entrepreneurs. And we just look forward to how great Africa will be, with everything that you guys are doing. Um, so we're going to start the session now, and you can go ahead and put in your questions as we go on, and the questions will be addressed towards the end of the presentation. All right, so this is how it's going to go. I'll introduce myself so you can, I mean, meet me. We'll also talk about what tech is. We'll talk about how and why we need tech for businesses. We'll be looking at mindsets we should have towards tech. We'll also be looking at how you can use tech and some advisable solutions that you can use for your business. We'll be looking at the security side of things. And we'll also be looking at why it is important to keep up with new trends. So why am I credible enough to share this knowledge with you superheroes? Well, I've already introduced my title. I have a background in software development, and I've been in tech for almost 2 decades now. And you guys have seen my picture. I'm not that old, okay? I just started pretty early before I went to university. I'm also an enterprise and solutions architect. I'll try and explain that as we go on. And I've also been an entrepreneur sometime back, in my lifetime. That was about a decade ago. I was a tech entrepreneur. I had a good run, and I'm going to share some lessons from my failures. My wife runs a lactation business. She's the first and currently the only certified lactation consultant in Nigeria, and I've been supporting her in that business. And of course, I work for a serial and successful entrepreneur, the founder of our foundation, Mr. Tony Elumelu. So what is technology? When you ask these questions or when you bring up the word technology, different kinds of people think of different things, sci-fi, all sort of images come to our mind. You think about a robot and all that. But let's just try and break it down, okay? Technology in itself is anything that makes your work or your process easier, okay? Anything, any technique or any method that makes a process or something easier. So your WC is a technology, your umbrella is a technology, right? So it can be as basic as that. So when you add manipulation of data or information to that process or to that process, then you have something called information technology, okay? A lot of people use the word now tech, and a lot of other buzzwords like AI, like machine learning, all right? Sometimes we really don't understand what these terminologies mean and how they can be applied, but they are really very simple if you just put in an extra effort in trying to understand what they are. So very quickly, I have limited time, so I'm going to try and rush this through. Please go ahead and put your questions. So very quickly, let's look at why we need technology. First of all, it is inevitable, okay? And we can clearly see that from COVID, right? COVID has disrupted a lot of businesses that were not digitally ready for what has happened. And besides COVID, change is inevitable. You may feel that everything right now is normal. Your customer base, that people who walk into your restaurant or walk into your store would always come. You guys have an awesome relationship, but customer preferences change, customer behaviors change, and that has consequences on your business. So it's important for you to leverage technology to be ready for disruptions because they are inevitable. The second reason is to help you to be organized. As a business owner, you always want to know the real state of your organization. You don't want to have an assumed or a make-believe, state of what is going on in your organization. For example, if you don't have anything that helps you or gives you a true reflection of your books, say like an accounting software or something like that, then you may not be making the right decisions in terms of your financial decision making. Also, you also want to be organized in terms of how your team are working together to achieve a purpose. For example, in the foundation, we use a lot of Microsoft technologies like the Microsoft Suite. We use Planner, we use SharePoint, we use Teams, and we use this in organizing our projects, organizing tasks. You're able to follow up with people who work with you and work in your team to make sure you are synchronized in achieving an objective. The third thing is that it makes you efficient and effective. Okay, for example, look at the TF Connect. Our chairman, the founder, he set out almost 6 years ago to empower 10,000 entrepreneurs over 10 years, right? That was the original goal. But and the idea was to empower them with funds, grants, and knowledge, and his experience, and etc. However, in the course of the program, it evolved, using technology. So with technology now, he's able to cascade that knowledge to almost millions of people across the world. And with technology as well, the foundation is able to partner with other organizations that are supporting more entrepreneurs with funds and other things. That is what technology does. And you see, a research report said that most African entrepreneurs or African businesses don't scale, almost about 70%. Why? Because they are not digitally ready to scale up for the global market. Okay, so that's one of the crucial reasons why we need technology. Also, at the foundation and as a group as a whole, we have an ERP developed in-house. An ERP helps you organize your back-end processes. It eliminates redundancies, and it saves you a lot of resources and time for you to focus on more strategic intent for your organization. So with what we have now, if you have a new business, we wouldn't have to worry about developing an entire solution for that business. It's just a spin-off from what we already have. As a matter of fact, I remember that when we launched some years back, 2 months into our launch, we were able to save a great deal amount of money on the cost of printing, because we used to be very paper-based. If you needed to get something approved, you print out a document, you sign it, you take it about 5 people to sign. If there's a mistake, you go out and start that process all over again. But all that has been eliminated, and we are totally, absolutely paperless. Another very important reason is profitability and increasing your reach. Okay, you have a business right now, you have a couple of people around your neighborhood that walk into your store to buy stuff. It doesn't take you a lot to become digital, and the moment you become digital, you are available to the global space. Okay, most of us use very popular apps and solutions like Facebook, like Instagram, and all those other solutions. We are able to use them across the world because they are on the digital space, right? So it gives us more profit, it makes us more visible, and that's a very, very important step for any business owner. Another very, very important point is insights through data. Data is the future. In fact, data is already here. We need data to understand the trends and customer behaviors and a lot of other things that would give us enough insights to make accurate, proactive decisions and not reactive decisions. Okay, a tech solution, a business that is tech ready gives you opportunity to leverage data to make awesome decisions that are very, very important for our businesses. And lastly, it helps us to institutionalize. Okay, our businesses should outlive us, and one of the best ways to do that is to use tech. You see, you don't, as our founder would say, you don't develop your processes around people. You develop your processes around systems, okay? So that you don't have a key man risk, or you don't have a situation whereby somebody leaves the organization and you are lost on what to do or how your business is going to move forward. Right, so let's move on. Let's look at mindset, because this is critical. We need to have a paradigm shift to be able to accommodate and get ourselves ready for this tech revolution. The first thing is for us not to be scared of tech. We need to make up our minds, and we need to realize in our minds that tech should not be difficult, it should not be complex, it should be simple. Oftentimes, when we develop a new solution for our chairman, our founder, and we are trying to explain how it works, you say, Dari, technology is supposed to make my life easier. I'm not supposed to do more work with technology. And that is very, very true, right? Our solutions, technology should make our businesses easier, effective, and it should not be an additional work to your life or your business. It's already complex enough, and it's not supposed to make it more difficult. It's supposed to make it a lot easier for you. So technology should not be a one size fits all. The fact that everybody is using a particular solution, or the fact that it's working for person A and B, does not mean you have to use it. And it doesn't mean that that is the solution you have to use for every area of your business, okay? That's a very, very wrong assumption to make. Technology is like medicine. The same way you won't have a gynecologist, carry out a brain surgical operation. Tech also has specialties, right? So you must make sure you get the right specialist for the right area of your tech need. Okay, you don't want to get your printer guy to make decisions or to design an ERP for you. That's not how it works. Okay, the fact that somebody is identified as a technology expert in one area does not mean he has knowledge in every other area. Technology can be jargons in, jargons out, and this is what it means. If you need to automate a process, for example, the process is already existing. So you're automating the process so that it's faster and it is in a system. If your processes are inefficient on its own, then what you are doing is simply inheriting an inefficient system into your automation. So what a good solution partner or a tech partner should do for you is to help you even use technology to better refine your processes. So if you have a process, for example, on how your supply chain or a procedure in getting things approved in your organization, you just don't import that into your new solution or software. You use the opportunity to redefine the process, and then you bring that you automate that process. Technology in itself is not the answer, and this is very profound. The fact that you've introduced a new solution, maybe your staff have been clamoring for this solution, we need this. The fact that you now have that solution does not mean that that's the end. Leveraging that solution suitably for your business is very, very crucial. So it's important for us to make sure we use technology in the way it suits our business. All right, it's very, very important. The next point I want to mention is the need for the right technology partner. Sometimes we need to admit that we may not have the right knowledge to make decisions as to what technology is suitable for my business. So it's important for you to get the right solution, get the right technology partner. What an enterprise architect may do for you, for example, is look at your enterprise. And by enterprise, I don't mean any big, large organization. An enterprise is any human endeavor. So an enterprise architect will look at your business and look at the different components of your business, different capabilities of your business, and he will look at it from where it is now and where it needs to be, considering the processes and optimization that needs to be done from where you are to where you need to be. So it's very important for you to really, really get the right technology partner for your business. On that same point, we also need to redefine our strategy as a business owner. You may be a product-based company, but you may want to consider metamorphosing into a platform-based company, because a platform has something called network effect that would multiply the number of transactions that you have going on your business. Okay, for example, a common example is the Uber platform. The Uber platform has drivers, has riders, and also have food companies that are currently partnering with them. So you might want to see how you can change your strategy to become more like a platform strategy. For example, in my wife's business, Milk Express, she has been able to partner with other technology platforms without having to develop one or buy one, whereby those platforms are leveraging on our services. These are some of the ways we African entrepreneurs can partner and work together to get more visibility and more value for our business. And the last thing on this mindset point is the need for us to change our culture. Culture can evolve. We shouldn't just stick to one culture that is affecting, the way we do things or how productive we are. We need to become a self-service culture. We need to have a culture of innovation. We need to promote a culture of innovation in our environment. At the foundation and at the Health Holdings Group, we have an innovation framework whereby ideas can come from anybody and anywhere. They can come from top to down or down to up. So we need to be able to infuse this type of mindset in our businesses. So quickly moving on, I'm running out of time. Let's look at some of the tech solutions that you may need in your organization. So for organizing your internal part of the business, so by internal part of business, you're looking at your production line, staff management, operational management. You might want to get an ERP. An ERP is an enterprise resource planner. And you see, your decision to which ERP all depends on a number of things. It depends on your capital, it depends on your plan, it depends on your size. One of the things we've been able to achieve a lot at Health Holdings and at the foundation is leveraging ERP to make our processes organized. So we are a group company and we move from, people can move from one company to another company. The beauty about an ERP is that we use the same type of ERP across. So when you move from one business to another, you don't have to start learning a new set of processes all over again. It's just very, very seamless. And it reduces the key man risk because the information, the process, the system is all institutionalized in the ERP. So this is very crucial in making your business more stable and more organized. For email, you might want to consider using O365, Microsoft Office 365, or Google. These guys are been there for a long time. They have experience. They are stable. They are great and straightforward. You might also want to use that for something called surveys. Okay, so sometimes you want to take a survey. You really don't have to go and subscribe to any other extra solution. These guys have Google Form, they have Microsoft Forms, and it's very easy to use. You don't need any consultant to come and design it for you. You can do it yourself. Okay. For websites, you can use GoDaddy or Wix. Very easy to use. It does not require any programming, or if at all, very little programming. It's very, very easy to use, like a wizard, step by step. Import the pictures, put the information, straightforward. And someone asked, some time ago, that do I need a website? Well, that question is tricky because, again, it all depends on your business, right? For example, Instagram has a lot of features that you may not even be able to incorporate in your website, and is already there. So if you can, a lot of business actually leverage Instagram more than websites these days. So all these things are decisions you need to make based on the size of your business, based on your strategy, and based on how you want to be digitally ready for the future. Organizations these days incorporate payment system, payment gateway, a CRM, and all sorts of things to Instagram, for them to be able to, reach out to customers and etc. Another very, very important solution for businesses that are client-facing is what you call a customer relationship management system. You see, a CRM is very crucial because you don't want to, as a business, and I say this from experience, you don't want to spend too much resources, especially human resources, on your operational side of stuff. Because on one hand, you have to worry about getting the right staff. You have to worry about their commitments. You have to worry about payments. You have to worry about human error. When you have an automated system in place, it automatically eradicates that. You also eradicate the issue of possible integrity. All right. So what this allows you to do is to give you a real-time definition of what is going on in your business, right? So as of today, how many people have bought stuff in our office or in our organization? Who are the people complaining? Who are the people that we need to follow up with? What are the trends? And you can access that on your mobile or anywhere you are in the world. These things are amazing, and it can be a game changer for your organization. As a tech, when I was into tech, when I was an entrepreneur into tech, there was one area that I failed to leverage, right? Because my support work was very difficult because I didn't have a system in place in handling supporting my customers and clients. Now for storage, for those people who are still struggling with the idea of cloud, you are too late in the game. Cloud is here to stay. There is no argument about it. When people have this argument, they feel that things in the cloud are not safe. In fact, if you have a Gmail account, you are already using cloud. So cloud is here to stay. Cloud would make your life and your business easier. So you quickly want to leverage cloud in storing your documents, and other possible things that, those solutions give you. And Office 365, Google, Dropbox, provide you with almost free to some extent and very affordable storage devices. For collaboration, you have Zoom. I'm very sure almost everyone has been invited or is using Zoom right now. You have Microsoft Teams that comes with Office 365. You have Slack, you have Trello. And again, the decision on which of these to use will depend on how you are set up as an organization. If you're a one-man show and you just organize webinars from time to time, Zoom may be the most applicable solutions for you. But if you are set up as an organization, you might want to consider Office 365 for security reasons and other reasons like that. Now, it is very important to understand that the lifeline of any application or solution you leverage on is the support system. Right, very, very important, guys. The fact that a solution may be great, people have recommended it, it's awesome, it's from India, does not mean you should use it. You want to look at what is involved in the support side of things. Support means I've bought the product or solution with X amount, but after I've bought it, how is it sustainable over time? If there's a bug, who will help me fix it? If we need to add additional features, who's going to do that? That is very crucial in your decision making regarding what solution to use. For example, we've had organizations who got one solution from India, but they didn't put into cognizance the support side. So every time they need to support it, they have to get consultants from India who will travel to Nigeria. You have flight costs, you have hotel costs, you have the support cost itself per hour. At the end of the day, it's just a waste of time. So you need to clearly sit down and analyze these things and look at how you want to support your business. Also, you want to look at your deployment strategy. So for example, when I was into tech, I developed my solutions as a Windows-based organization solution, meaning that we have to install on every machine. And that wasn't the best strategy for me because every time I needed to push an update, I would have to, commute to my client's office. So it was no longer sustainable for me as a one-man business, and I had to get a hire. And the whole human resource management side of things is another discussion for another day. So you want to get your support right. And if you know you're currently having this issue of support, you may need to make a decision to scrap it. You may need to make an objective, futuristic decision to scrap. So this is the last slide, and it's a very, very important slide. It's about around security. So you may already be digitally ready, or you're on your way transiting to be digitally ready. Security is super important because it can end your business. Okay, so the first thing I would say is to weigh your risk. So what kind of business do you have, and what are the risks? If people should access your information now, is it a showstopper for you? Will your business be able to continue? Do you have a backup or whatever? So you need to weigh your risk, and that will help you determine what kind of security solutions you would want to leverage. Right. The second thing is that don't give unnecessary access to anybody. Okay. If you have staff or vendors that are supporting you, make sure you give access to critical systems or information just when it is required, and it has to be time bound. So you need it for a week, you need it for a day, and when you get it, you want to change the password or something. The third thing is that you need to invest in an antivirus and possibly a firewall. These things are not luxury, or they're not for big organizations. Because if, for example, you get hacked and your information is encrypted, then that's what you call a ransom situation. Then you're almost out of business. Okay, so you want to make sure you take this seriously, and you put a very strict governance around it to make sure that whoever is responsible for updating it or whatever is doing his or her job. The next thing is password and multi-factor. It's very important for you to use complex password, not password that is your mother's last name or your wife's middle name or your pet's name. No, use complex password. And by complex password, you use a combination of special characters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and any other thing that is possible. And for example, for those of you who use Instagram or Twitter for your business, you want to make sure you also have what you call a multi-factor or multi-layer authentication. Because sometimes we share this password with some of our staff, and if you have a situation where your staff is disgruntled, they might play hanky-panky with your business, So a multi-factor or multi-layer authentication means that beyond password, you're authenticating with a phone number, with a text message, or with a token from your app. You also want to make sure you have a reliable and sustainable backup routine. Okay, don't play with your backup, guys. Don't joke with your backup. It can be very frustrating and annoying. Make sure you invest in a solution that is constantly backing up your work. So if you're a small business, for example, even for big businesses, SharePoint is not expensive. These solutions are not expensive. You don't need any big, money complex solution. These things help you automatically save your documents to the cloud. So as you're working on it, it's automatically saving your stuff to the cloud. And you see, why I'm saying all this is because, as a business, you may be right now, especially in this COVID period, where even post-COVID period, there are going to be a lot of contactless kind of transactions, etc. You want to make sure you are set up in a way you are leveraging technology to help you be ready for that. For example, you're a business, you have a retail market, and normally you're still using cash or you're still using, something that requires contact. We might want to rethink, your strategy. You might want to rethink, using other payment methods that would help you get more value in this period. And also try not to mix work with pleasure. You want to make sure that you separate both lives. So for example, if you're a one-man show, you have a laptop used for Netflixing and stuff, and you have one for your business, partition them, have different profiles for them, and keep them totally separate. And the last thing here is to train yourself and train your staff. You need this training. This training is very important. You need to understand that these things are very important. You need to, get yourself, you have to acquire the knowledge that is required in understanding how these things work, because they are here to stay, guys. They are not going anywhere. They are here to stay, and the earlier you accept it and you quickly leverage it, then the better for you. All right, this is my final slide before I go into Q&A. We need to keep up with new trends and technology, right? Because for example, there's a lot about 5G now. People say 5G is this, is that, it's Corona and all that. Guys, 5G is here to stay, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. People who have argued about 5G, I say, do you even know what G you are using right now? Sometimes you don't even know. You go and pick up a new SIM card, and your SIM card is, for some of us that are using some telcos, your SIM card is 4G. So you don't even know your SIM card is 4G, and you're already using it and you're enjoying it. So technology is here to stay, and there is nothing we can do about 5G and all. It's good that we do the required due diligence to ensure that it's not harmful to our health, but we have to embrace technology. Technology is the future, and the earlier we see how we can apply it to our business, the better, because it's a huge disruptor, and we need to be prepared for it. All right, so thank you very much, guys. I'm just going to be looking through questions now. I think I've actually overrun my time, but I'm going to try and take a few questions. So I have a question here from Chike. It says that what could you consider as the most important or key factor to a high gear technology company? People or technology? Wow, very wonderful question. I would say people. I would say people, and this is why. Before it's often said that the customer is king, but I think they've changed that in recent time that your staff and your employees are the king, because the logic is that if you don't train your staff, if you don't make them feel appreciated, if you don't if you don't give them the right knowledge and make them ready for any kind of change, then it will automatically affect the people that your customers. And like I said, technology in itself is not the answer. Okay, you may have the best and the greatest technology, but if you don't have people who can use it intelligently and who can use it appropriately and see how they can get the best value from it, then your technology is a waste of time. For example, in the foundation and the Health Holdings, the moment we did our ERP and we put it out there, it is our staff and customers that are now coming to tell us that, oh, wow, this is great. Can we also use this? It's called Converge. Can we also use Converge to automate this process? Can we also use Converge to automate that process? So you see, the idea is that it is people that are now even bringing out more value from all those technologies. So I'll definitely say people first, but they are both important. Okay, I have another question. How did I automatically add this to my? Okay, I'm not really sure I understand. I don't think that question is for me. I have a question in French, and I think I might need help in interpreting that question. So, Nika, if you can, or Destiny, if you can help me interpret that and send it to me, I'll be very grateful. And the question is from Amma. Okay, let's see. I have a question here. I have another question here. Good afternoon, sir. Or good afternoon, ma. What do you mean you want us to achieve in terms of leveraging technology for business today? So that is pretty much everything I've said, that you need to look at your business and you need to see the appropriate technology you need to use for your business. So for example, if you are a lousy example, let's say you're into, you're a consultant, right, in this period, and you normally organize webinars and organize all sort of lectures or training, you definitely can't continue to do that right now because most companies are on lockdown. Okay, so what you may want to do is to start leveraging collaborative platforms like Zoom, like Microsoft Teams, and other awesome technology platforms like that. And as a matter of fact, you will realize that you achieve better scale and more productive, you spend less when you use those platforms. So for example, if you're going to do a training, you probably need to get a place for the training, you need to print materials, you need to get other co-facilitators to come, you need to spend on logistics. But with these platforms, just like that, you are good to go. So that's how to use technology for your business. And if you're at loss on how you may need to apply it, then you need to get a good solution or technology partner. Get a good technology partner to come and to look into your business and to help you make the right decision for your business. All right, just to mention that this session is recorded, so you can always go back to it and access it from the TEF Connect platform. So I'll just take a few more questions. Okay, I have a question from Matai. He says, thank you for the presentation. Quick question. If more than 70% of African businesses do not scale as a result of lack of technology robustness, what is the foundation doing to reduce this incident? So you see, in solving a general problem like this, every foundation or every non-profit organization, they have an angle they play in helping. The foundation cannot solve all the African problems that entrepreneurs have. They can only play their part. And what part is the foundation playing? The foundation is introducing African entrepreneurs to a great deal of knowledge and experts, in the various areas, in the world. For example, at the forum, last forum, you guys got to meet 5 presidents. So the foundation is doing its bits, providing knowledge, providing grants, providing partnership with other people that are also providing grants, providing insights, and opening, people up to the world. So that's one one of the things that the foundation is doing. And as a matter of fact, this webinar is also part of the contribution to bring awareness, because you see, why I believe that African entrepreneurs are superheroes is what people out there are doing that we are celebrating. The Facebook, the TikTok now, the share price of TikTok has gone skyrocketed. It's very, very possible for us to have our own in Africa, and we need to have our own in Africa and celebrate our own and use our own. So it's a mindset change. So it's not something that the foundation itself would do, but the foundation is playing its part in solving the problem at large. Okay, I have a question from Kate. It says, "Hi there. Thanks for this opportunity. We are grateful. My question is, can we be provided with a timetable for this incubating period? It will help a great deal. Thank you." I'm not quite sure what you mean by the incubating period. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. So if you want to provide more clarity on that. So someone says I should explain further an ERP. Well, you may need to just go to YouTube and just Google ERP, and you may get a more detailed explanation. But like I said, enterprise ERP means an enterprise resource planner, and the idea of an enterprise resource planner is to help you be automated and to institutionalize. For example, like I said, my wife's business, Milk Express. Initially we struggled with staff, getting the right staff, and make sure the staff are not redundant. But the moment we started automating, having a CRM, having an ERP, there was no need to have most of those redundancies anymore, because real time you are seeing people who are trying to get your consultation, people who are having issues and are reaching out to you, and so many other benefits that we got from using an ERP. So I have another question from Alain Yor. It says, what digital skills / courses would you advise one to take? Beautiful question. Now, again, it all depends. Unfortunately, this period, most of these online learning platforms are providing free content for people. I know plural sites right now, they are doing free for the month of April. So one of the more important courses I would advise people to take, if you can, is something called data science. Data, as they say, is the new gold. But a lot of people don't even understand that. I didn't understand that. How is data the new gold? But by the time you go through that course, it will explain to you the importance and the other numerous value you can get from the data that you probably have that you don't know. And what I mean by you have that you don't know is because you don't have a system in place that is helping you to capture and put the data together. For example, let me give you a real life example. There's a delicacy in Nigeria called peppered soup. Okay, it's really nice. I know my Kenyan brothers that don't like pepper. They may not like it, but guys, it is really nice. And I like catfish peppered soup. If you're ever in Nigeria, let me know. I'll hook you up with this joint. So I felt like having peppered soup, so I called one of my friends and she gave me a recommendation. I called up these guys because they didn't have a website, and even if they did, I don't think they had any app or something I could use to order. So I called them up. I told them what I wanted. I asked for what they have, because there was no menu, and they told me, and they delivered to my house. So I felt like it was a great experience, and I felt like having another one. But these guys don't have a record of me. They don't know who ordered, whether I was a guy, how old I am. They don't have details of who. Now imagine you have an accumulated data of all the people that have ordered pepper soup over a period of time. You are able to draw insight from that data to know, okay, perhaps I think single guys, I'm not single by the way, single guys like peppered soup. single guys between the age of this and this like pepper soup. So you're able to, reshape your strategy in making recommendations to people like me. Because if those guys start a discount, if they call me up now that they have a discount on this pepper soup, I am definitely going to buy it. But you see, they are totally missing out on that insight. And that's just one out of many other insights. It is also important to understand that there are now very strict privacy laws around the world, okay? So you might want to get consent when you are getting people's data. Very, very important. You might want to make sure you have people's consent when you are getting their data and how you intend to use their data. This is now a big deal all over the world. These are the kind of things that affected Facebook and all those other big platforms. I'm not sure. Nika, please let me know how many more time I have. I think I'm even totally out of time. I'm gonna. Okay, there's another question here from Gab. I am developing meat supply chain to customers in Lagos. Okay, I have 5 more minutes. Thank you, Nika. Nika is awesome, by the way. Customers in Lagos. Okay, let me start again. I am developing meat supply chain to customers in Lagos when my location is far. Do you have software that can be used to track customers and monitor delivery processes? So I personally don't have one, but you see, there are also solutions out there where you can put these questions and you have a lot of people making recommendations for you. For example, you may decide to put this question as it is into Craigslist, and you'll be amazed as to how many people out there that are also looking for this and also or who also have a solution for this, for what your need. So I personally don't know anyone you can use. I can think about it and get back to you, but I personally don't know. Another very important insight I want to bring out from this is that there's also a role in making a decision on when to develop and when to use an off-the-shelf solution. Okay, there's because, for example, there are different CRMs and you may decide to just buy one off the shelf. Off the shelf may mean that you are just doing a software as a service. Software as a service means that you are not buying any server or any computer or anything to install the solution. You are just strictly using it from the cloud, And that's another very important point again, that most organizations still believe they need to have their physical box server and all those things in-house. It may not be the most effective thing for your business because you are spending a lot of money on you're not optimizing your costs. As a business, you want to make sure you keep looking at your operational costs and reducing them where possible, because you're spending money on power, on human resource, which you may not even have, and on a lot of other resources. And you see, the amount of security most of these software as a service companies put in place, the budget far supersedes what you have. So you want to make those decisions carefully by looking at what are the solutions out there, how well do they fit into our processes. If you are going to have to make modifications to them, how much modifications do you have to make? Look at the cost of making those modifications vis-a-vis developing one, getting a tech guy to develop one for you. These are the pros and cons you need to weigh to make the right decision as to whether or not to buy outrightly or not to buy outrightly. I probably have like 2 more minutes. For all your questions, please, if you can drop your email, I'm going to try and reach out to everybody. Please, if I've not addressed your questions, please send your questions again with your email address. I promise that I'm going to reach out to you and answer your questions. So I'm going to have to take like 2 more questions. So I have somebody here who says, as a startup in the education section, online education, do you advise I use Skype, Zoom, etc. for a start as against building in video features on my website, as I will be giving live online lessons? This is a very brilliant question. So you see, sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If somebody has done something and the person has been doing it for years, he has optimized it, he has made it nice, is working on it, and is stable, you really don't have to reinvent the wheel if that's not the focus of your business. So all these guys, all this Zoom and all these guys, they have APIs that you can consume to use their service. So you may want to really consider, I would advise that you consider the possibility of partnering with them. You know, we developed an ERP in-house, quite all right, but there are a lot of other features we are adding, and we are not building from the scratch. We are simply partnering with people who have done them and done them well. So it reduces the time, resources, it reduces a lot of other resource, a lot of other things that you would have to put in place to build your own. And bear in mind that the building a solution like Zoom and Co is not very easy. You require huge server resources. And we are not really there in Africa at in this time. And you also have to look at Forex if you tend to even use cloud solutions. So brilliant question. As a matter of fact, I was even thinking about why don't we have one in this side of town. So if building a collaborative tool is your ambition, then fine. But if it's not your focus, but you want to leverage them, I'll advise that you partner with them. All right, so I'll take one last question. So I have a question here. Which is the best solution to technology leverage in our social media to even our aged peoples who are financially stable to reach them and scale up moderately? I really don't understand this question. Which is the best solutions to technology leverage to our social media to even our aged peoples who are financially stable for? So I really don't understand, but this is just what I would say. Social media too has come to stay. We have to adjust to the change. We have to understand and study social media. You see, a lot of people use social media for just interacting and just having fun. But as business owners, the way we think about social media has to be different. Okay, we need to think of how we can leverage social media and even the right social media for our business. So for example, you want to say, for example, like the chap who wants to do an online school or whatever. The good thing about all the social media handles and platforms is that they have data of different demographics, and by demography, like people's age, people's gender, and all those things. So you can customize your product visibility to certain people, right? You can customize it to certain people to say, I need certain people to have visibility of my product and services. And you can actually also put a survey in place for you to find out how people found out about you, so that you can know which areas you need to reduce your, how to allocate your budget, your campaign budget, or your advertisement budget. And that's on one hand. On the other hand, you may also want to use social media like Facebook that has a lot of other inbuilt solutions, because right now people build on Facebook to reach out to certain audiences that are just Facebook. People feel Facebook, for example, are for old folks, and then you have IG and TikTok for younger folks. So if you want to focus on the elder demography, then you want to you go to Facebook and etc. But the most important thing is that these social media platforms are here to stay, and there is nothing we can do about it. All right, so I want to thank everybody for joining. It's been an awesome time with you guys. Again, we believe so much in you guys. We believe that you guys are the future of Africa we dream of. We are proud of what you guys have done. You guys are bold. You guys are courageous. You guys are strong. You guys are great. And it may be difficult right now, may be challenging right now because of COVID and all. But trying times are for those who try. I just want to encourage you guys to just continue to give it a shot, continue to push, continue to believe in your dream and believe in your solution. And the future is yours. The future is yours, and there is nothing you cannot achieve. All right, I want to thank you guys very much again. Please, if I've not answered your question, I'm very, very sorry. Kindly resend your questions with your email address, and I promise that I will try to reach out to you as soon as I can. Please stay safe and keep dreaming and keep coming up with solutions that will make a difference at this time. We believe in you guys. Thank you very much and have a good one. Love from the foundation, love from our CEO, love from everybody. Bye for now.